Yo, what's up, traders? All right, today we're gonna be recapping two trades I took early in the morning. Problem with today was I had a massive time constraint. I knew I had to go do stuff for my day job at about 7:30, and I usually sit down to trade right before 7. So this is a problem. If you're a beginner and there's something obstructing you from executing your plan for the day, you should just not trade. So if you got distractions, if you know you got to be somewhere, or even if you're just not in a good mental state, like you don't sleep well, or girlfriend's giving you drama, or whatever it may be, if there's something obstructing you from executing your plan for the day, you should just not trade because you're going to force things and it's just not going to be pretty. I knew this going into my day. I knew that I was going to have to find a trade within 30 to 35 minutes. And I know the market's pretty hot right now, so I'm like, it's a possibility I'll find something I like, but I'm probably going to end up forcing a trade. So, with that said, and expect that, I need to make sure I do not go red on the day. If a trade works, great. If it doesn't, get out ASAP. We aren't going to hold and hope at all. I'm not going to try to force too much. I'm just going to get in and get out and try to end the day a little green or break even. Well, today was pretty much a break even day, which I'm completely okay with. That's what my expectation was, and I'm ending the day just like that. So let's go into my first trade. This is MLEC. I bought it a little before 7 a.m. I got in pretty much on this candle here. So you had a nice pullback. Candle made a new high. I got in I got in pretty high up here. Was it 650? It says 653. This could be always wrong. Let's look at the 15-second chart because I'll tell you exactly where I bought. It's right here on this candle. So I saw it popping up. It double topped at the previous high day here, and then it did a nice little micro pullback under it. So what I'm looking for is a little pullback and then a push through high day. And it did exactly that, but you can see this wick on this 15-second chart. This thing was wicking hard. So it'd pop up, print the 9089 high, but I couldn't sell at that. As soon as it popped, it dropped, so it would wick instantly, and it came back down to like 930s, and I was trying to get out. I was trying to sell on the ask at first. It just didn't fill because it wicked. So I think I sold half. No, I did sell half on ask, but I just kind of put it out there, and then the order, it kind of bounced up and filled the order. So I sold half at 933. I wish I was able to sell up here because that was almost $1 share, or yeah, it pretty much was $1 share. So it would have been a nice $200 winner if I was able to sell up here, but just not happen. When something looks like that, I just don't have enough time to sell. So it wicked, they're up, down. I sold half. I'm holding. I'm not in any crazy rush to sell. The wick isn't what I want, but I'm looking for it to kind of base out, and then at 7 a.m. I want it to go. I told you in my previous recap, 7 a.m. brokers come online, they allow traders to trade. So if the market's hot, a lot of times as soon as the market opens, which it's like the pre-market opens 7 a.m., you get an influx of volume, and sometimes you get these nice moves. So I'm holding, it kind of dips down to my entry, no big deal. I'm just holding through that. If it's gonna dip any lower, like breaking the 20 EMA on the 15-second chart, so if it dips down any lower, I'm gonna stop out. I took some profit, so I have a buffer on the trade. So if it dips down and I'm like break even on the trade, um, overall, then I'm gonna just stop out break even because again, my goal was to just not lose money today. It pops back up again. It pops back up and wicks, and I'm like getting a little frustrated on this thing. So I'm holding, and then at 6:55, actually this wick I actually sold some. So I did sell some on this wick, but then I was holding my remaining position and it wicked again, and I was like, this thing is not gonna go. There's sellers holding it down. We're not gonna get it any higher than this. So as soon as it wicked down, I dropped down to my entry around here, 657. Yeah, around here, it dropped down to my entry again, and I was like, that it tried a few times. It wasn't going, so I just sold break even on my remaining position. That trade was $67, not a great trade. It could have been so much better if I was able to um, sell at the top or closer to the top. Like I said, with the wicks, wasn't happening. $67. So I'm like, that's not bad. I was like, I don't know, what is that, like 1 or 2%? Yeah, I was like, all right, well, whatever. I'm waiting, and I see BNAI. That's actually made a nice move. This thing was running. This was here's 7, so we got a nice run. I was actually watching this setup here, and I missed it. I think I was just a little cautious today, but this was a good pullback. As you can see, you got the move up, you got the pullback. It retested pretty much almost VWAP at the 20 EMA, and then it created a nice wick, and then the next candle it squeezed. Just hesitated on it, missed the move. I didn't want to chase it. That's one thing you won't ever really see me do, is if I miss a setup, I'm not going to really chase it. I hate getting in high and then it dumping on me. So now if it pops up and consolidates in a way that I like seeing, I'll get in. But this thing didn't really do that. It was just, it popped up hard and then it was just extended off the EMAs. It never gave us a pullback that I liked, so I didn't try to get in there. But I was watching it through this entire consolidation, and I'm like, man, this buying volume was nice. And then the sell-off was really low, and the volume was dropping as it was pulling back. I'm like, all right, if buying volume comes in, it's going to spike up because the selling volume is so low. So we'll have an imbalance of selling and buying volume. That's really my favorite indicators. Like if a pullback has low volume, once I see strong volume, I'm buying. I know that there's not much selling to hold it down. So I was watching this move here, and as soon as I saw it kind of pop on this candle, I got in. So I bought at 10:58 at 7:26. I think the time's wrong a little bit on these because this is 7:26, but I bought it on this candle at 10:58. So I got in. It's funny because I said I don't chase, but I got in a little late here. But what I'm expecting really is, based off the size of this candle, I'm expecting it to go back to at least high day or push higher. Let me show you in the 5-minute chart because this was more of a 5-minute. Oh my god, hold on guys, sorry. Like, what am I looking at here? Yeah, sorry. So, not the prettiest pullback on the 5-minute chart. 3 candles, usually I want 2 small body candles and then that 90 may catch up to it, but anyway, you know, it's still printed a nice candle here. So I'm expecting this candle to really just rip through the high day, and it didn't, obviously. So I got in a little higher than I'd like. If I was faster, I could have got in closer to like low tens. But I was a little late on the entry. So I just punched it. I didn't really wait for a pullback. Maybe should have waited for the pullback. I just punched it. I'm like, man, this thing's probably gonna go because the volume. And it didn't really do much. It did pull back, and when it pulled back, I pretty much just stopped out because oh no, I stopped out here. So I held through the pullback, and then it pops up, and I'm like, here we go. We're gonna get pushed to at least high day. That'd be my first profit target or through. So we get the pop, the pullback, and then I'm like, go, go, go. It didn't go. It just rejected. So once it rejected, I'm thinking like, I'll just hold this to see if it goes. And I'll hold it until I'm pretty much break even on the day. So I had like 60 something dollars from my previous winner. So once it dipped down and broke the 9 EMA, that's when I was like, all right. And it broke the 9 EMA rate when like my realized gains and this loss pretty much balanced each other out. So once it broke down, I sold at like 1023. So right here as it broke down. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I could have took profit here and maybe made like 40 or $50. Honestly, I could have had like $100 day, but I was looking for something a little bit more. I had conviction that this was going to pop up higher and it just didn't. So I ended my day $9 in the green. So like I said, main goal, don't lose money today. You don't have time to execute your plan. So if you can get a nice winner, cool. If not, just don't lose money. Don't go into drawdown. It's stupid to do. And then unfortunately, we got a really nice runner today. I don't even know what the ticker is. I can look it up. Hold on. What was it? What was that runner today? Bear with me. Let me just pull it up because I do want to go over that one with you. If I was to trade it, I would have. Hold on. PAVM. So this thing started popping up at like 8 o'clock. So obviously I was already gone. I was off to work. I have a buddy I trade with. He told me, oh, PAVM's going. That's the one for the day. Blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of like just looking at it at work to see what it was doing. But if I was to trade it, I would have waited for a nice pullback. So I don't know if I would have caught this move here. These are more of like a 15-second setup. I gotta get better, like, oops. What is this? I gotta get better at like navigating the charts when I'm doing these recaps, but so it pops, it rejects, and then it reclaims high a day. I mean, like, I don't know if I would have taken this where it reclaimed, retested, and then pushed higher. That is a great setup where you get the break of the high, the retest, and then the high up. I probably would have waited for something like this. This is more my style of trading. I don't like chasing the really fast moves because I have trouble managing risk on it. So I probably would have waited for a pullback and then this leg here, which is right here. This is more my style. So dip down to the 90 EMA on the 5-minute chart. Broke under VWAP, but then it pushed back over. So a little VWAP reclaim, 5-minute setup. I probably would have took that trade. And then as you can see, again, the volume, this is what tells a story. You can really tell if a stock is going to sell off or keep going higher based off the volume. And a lot of people overlook this, but if the buying volume is higher than the selling volume on the pullbacks, you're gonna most likely get a leg up. Just like on my BNAI, that's what I was looking at. I was expecting something like this. We just didn't get it because it wasn't like a fresh catalyst, while this was. So anyway, this, I would have been like watching this and I would have been like, all right, this volume is drying up. There's not enough selling volume for it to keep selling off. If buying volume comes back in, you're going to get that push higher. So I probably would have been watching it for this trade. This was at 9 a.m. So I might have been done with both my trades, but I think this is a great setup. Kind of a strange pullback, how long it pulled back for, but the fact that it wasn't breaking down once you saw that buying volume come in, that's another opportunity to get in that leg up. And I guess this thing just kept running. We have almost every day last week and this week we are getting these insane squeezes. This started at like $6 and went all the way up to what, $28. We see that like multiple times a week now. So if you can wait for the one and be patient long enough, you can make some good money in this market. Unfortunately, today I had to leave early and I didn't get to trade this one, but it's not a big deal. I don't really get FOMO because there's always the next opportunity. Like, and just because the stock squeezes 2, 3, 400% doesn't mean I'll make money on it. It's not like this thing had amazing price action anyway, so you could have got caught here, like popped up, pulled back, a little curl. You could have got caught in this curl. Obviously, it was super extended by how much it moved, but sometimes you just like if you miss this move and FOMO kicks in, you're like, oh, as soon as it curls, I'm gonna get in, and then you get slammed on and lose $1 a share, $2 a share. Like that can happen. So just because the stock moves a big percentage, it doesn't mean, it doesn't guarantee that you're gonna make money. All it does is it's gonna guarantee an opportunity to make money if you can find that opportunity and capitalize it, and then yeah, you can pull some profit out of this move. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I think the lesson for today is don't trade if you can't fully perform your strategy. Whatever it is, my strategy is trading pre-market. I like to wait for a catalyst to come out. I'm looking for the perfect storm, something with a low float that gives a good range. I'm looking for a good catalyst, usually in medical or biotech. That's usually is good in small caps. In the 5 years I've been trading, biotech has always been the best sector, or one of the best, most consistent. So I'm looking for a good catalyst because that gives good upside potential. And then I'm looking for an imbalance of buying and selling. I want to see more buying volume than I do selling. So if I get a pullback, I'm looking for selling volume to be less than the buying volume, and I want to see a decrease in selling volume. So when buying comes back in, you have an imbalance of buying and selling, and that creates the move up. Same here. Get good buying volume on the move up, the pullback, selling volume drying up. That means as soon as buying comes back in, leg higher. I'm looking for those three things, and that's really that's what my edge is. Um, there's a couple other things I look for, but yeah, that's mainly it. That's where I find edge, and I just capitalize on the edge the best I can. Obviously, I'm not perfect, and you don't need to be profitable. You just need to find your edge, find opportunity, take your trade, let the market play out. If you truly have edge, you will extract money from the market. And if you manage risk, so that's your defense. A lot of people say, oh, risk management is everything. No, you have offense and defense. Your edge is your offense. Risk management is your defense. So you need to manage risk as well. So when you get into loser, you're not taking a big loss and going into drawdown, especially with a small account. You don't want to go into drawdown. You're trying to build an account, and drawdown just slows down the process of getting enough buying power for you to make actual significant money. So I made a series called "Why You Suck at Trading." It's going to go over topics of like just different pitfalls people have when they're trying to get profitable. And the first one I did was undercapitalized and over expecting. I'd say check that video out. It's really the foundation for psychology. It allows you to play the long game, um, and it allows you to stick to your strategy if you know the numbers and how compounding works. Um, I'm not gonna keep selling that video. Just go check it out. I'm gonna make another video this week. Um, Another one in the playlist, Why You Suck at Trading, and I'll go over another topic that I think is important. I really want you guys to follow these in order because it's really going to create a foundation that you need in order to be profitable. The mind you have when you come into trading isn't the mind you end up with when you're profitable. So you come into trading with all this hope and I'm going to make so much money, and then reality hits and you have to reprogram your mind completely differently, and that's how you become profitable. Anyway, this video is getting long. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next recap. Take care.